So this isn't the video that I planned to make. I'm actually in the process of recording something totally different from this. But I wanted to make a video about the importance of your intuition and listening to your gut feeling. Because yesterday I was at this mall, one moment. Hello everyone, okay. So yesterday I went to a mall. I just want to talk about the importance of intuition and how you should always listen to that gut feeling, because yesterday was a really scary day, and my family went to this mall, and it was in Texas. It's called Town East Mall, and there was a shooting there yesterday, and it was yesterday I was feeling like very uneasy, and I really didn't want to go out, and I actually went to a different mall a few days prior with my sister, and you know, we had a good time at the mall. It was really fun, and yeah, and then I just didn't feel like going to the mall yesterday, but my mom was like, oh, well, I need someone else to drive, but I didn't know that like my uncle was going, and then my grandmother also went too. I thought my grandmother, it was like a ladies' day or whatever, but my cousin had a birthday party to attend near this mall, so that's why we ended up going to this mall, because I've never heard of this mall. Yeah, we went to the mall, and it was like a regular day. We dropped our cousin off at the birthday, and then like we were having like a really nice family time. We went to go eat in the mall. We entered like through Macy's, and this was about I would say, I don't even know what time we left yesterday, but it was pretty early, like around 2, and I believe the shooting happened around like 6. So yeah, it was literally like a regular day. We were going to the store. I had a phone call, sorry. So yeah, so the day of the mall was like pretty regular. I was still feeling very like uneasy. I really didn't want to go. I thought we were going to a totally different mall, and I kind of felt like I really didn't want to go. I didn't even know that like I didn't know my uncle was going and my little cousin was going, and there was a birthday party she had to attend out there, so we wouldn't go to the mall that we were originally planning. We were supposed to go to a totally different area, and we ended up going there. So it's just like, okay, like, you know, but everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, you need to spend a family day, you never leave the house, and that is so not true. Everybody has this narrative that like, oh, I don't want to leave the house, or I never leave the house. Like, I just don't want to go out when on someone else's accord, because when you're like a person that if your gut feeling is like typically spot on pretty much like all the time, yeah, because like, there's been a lot of times where people have said things or done things and I've been correct, but people like to act like, oh, I'm being like over dramatic or oversensitive, and it's just like, really? So we went to like Hot Topic, because my other siblings are also going back to school, because they're in high school and middle school. I don't know where I left off. I just got back home. I had to get one of my sisters. Yeah, but I believe I was talking about the mall and how our day started, and yeah, so it started out as a regular day. We were school supplies and / clothes shopping, or at least basically just like looking around, and so me and my sister that's in high school, we went into this store that sells like really cute vanities. Like, they're really cute, super expensive, but the lighting was everything. It was giving professional. It was like wide vanities. They were so cute. And yeah, so then we like went through there, then we went to this gelato place that I tried at this other mall that we went to, that I went to with my other sister a few days prior. But this location didn't have as many flavors. And yeah, but it was still good though. But see, I like the birthday cake gelato, but I was wondering why the flavor was like kind of like not so like potent as like when you try like a little sample. And it's because I saw the girl put 2 scoops of vanilla and 3 scoops of the birthday cake for the shake, and it really like messes with the flavor, and I was like but that was that. And then my mom and grandmother, they were in Forever 21, then they went to Express. And then my mom was in Express for a really long time because she was trying on clothes. My sister that's in high school was trying on something, and then we were just in Express for a really long time. And when we finally came out to Express, my middle school sister wanted to go to Build-A-Bear because she wanted the Build-A-Bear experience. I'm not sure if it's because like the Barbie movie, or I believe even like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like all the little dolls and action figures. I'm not sure if that's like starting to like make like younger generations like want to have that experience. I'm like a late 90s baby. Okay, I spent 5 days in the 90s, but so like super close to 2000. Hopefully they bring back Toys R Us, because that would be a whole vibe. And Libby Lou pop-up shop would be really nice, because I never got to go in Libby Lou. When we left out of Express and we went to there was like this little map thing that was inside of the mall, and it was kind of like, I don't really know this mall. This is my first time going there, and this one was like a really weird shape. Like the food court, that was like one of the things that I really like. Walking into this mall was like really like, I don't know, I just really didn't like it. The food court was on the 3rd floor, and I don't yeah, it was just like really like high up, and I was just like, okay, I don't know, sometimes that stuff just like makes me really feel uneasy. And then there was like the 2nd floor, then there was like another floor under, that was like the main floor. Some say that the shooting took place on the main floor, but when we got to this map, we were trying to figure out where to go, because my mom wanted to go to a store, so we were actually going to go to the 1st floor, which like the escalators were like right near this map, and then there was a jewelry store right in front. And I don't know, it was the wind, and I don't know which store you ran into, because I was going to go into the jewelry store at first when we heard everything, and it didn't even sound like a typical like gun. It sounded like somebody was moving ice. And then I like looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe they have like a ice thing or something, and like it sounded like somebody had like a cart and they were like moving ice. And I looked back, I was just like staring back at this group of people, and they were like, some of them, they were looking back the other way, like down the way, because these people were like kind of like near Express, that the store we just left. And then so then like the look on their face, and then they started like running, like they literally just like switched up and started like running like towards us. And then we started running. I was like, oh my gosh, is that like a gun or something? Because we just hear a bunch of people screaming and running, and so everybody just ran into the nearest store. So I literally like grabbed like one of my sister's hands and we started running. So and then so then I was trying to go run into that jewelry store, because it was like pretty much like a straight dash, but it was super wide. Nobody was in there, but it had an exit door. And then we went into the next store over, which we weren't sure if this was like a personal altercation or if this was just like a random person that was trying to shoot, similar to like the Allen Mall shooting, which was really random. They were just, you know, Yeah. So my mom ended up actually falling because she was wearing these shoes, and like she was kind of like really like delayed with like processing what was happening. Me and my high school sister, we were like I don't know, we just started like reacting. We were like, we gotta go. And yeah. And then, but my mom was like trying to like sit there and process and figure out what was going on. And then so she actually fell in this store, and I was like, you gotta get up, like we gotta go to the back because you can't lay by the door. So I literally, she dropped her glasses and everything. And so well, not everything, but she just, thank God nothing spilled out of the purse, but she dropped her glasses. And we ran to the back of the store, and I was like trying to like drag her and like pick her up. I was like, come on, like get up. You know when you like, have you guys ever like ran and you like fell and like your legs gave out like after you trip and you can't really get back up, and it's like that slow motion kind of fall? Yeah, that happened to her. That happened to me once before, because like when I was explaining it to her, she was like, literally, that's exactly what happened to me. And I was just like, yeah, that happened to me one time when me and my sister that's that I went to the other mall with, she's 15 months younger than me, and yeah, we were just late to school, and I had my Starbucks, and we were running through the grass. And my legs gave out because I like stumbled on like a little dip in the grass, and yeah, it was just like, it took a minute to get back up, but then I started running, and yeah, that happens to people. And she wasn't wearing the proper shoes though too, so that was another thing. So she did kind of like hurt her toe. I don't think she has gone to the ER to check that out yet. Yeah, I was kind of like up late because I had things to do yesterday, so I really didn't, another reason why I didn't want to go out yesterday. But the guy in the store, he was kind of like trying to process what was happening too. Like you can just tell like he was kind of like in a daze, like oh my gosh, like he was kind of in shock. And so he ended up like shutting the little store thing, and this store actually had no stock room or anything. And so we were all like sitting in the back, and there was like and everybody was like kind of like quiet and just like looking at each other like, what do we do next, like what's going on? And like nobody was hurt around us or anything, but there was this one lady that was like by the door, and the guy, when he shut the front of the thing down, my mom was like, oh my gosh, did he shut the door? And I was just like, yeah, he already shut the door, like it's okay, like we're like locked, we're like, you know, locked in the store or whatever. But it still had like glass. This store had actually had glass, so like somebody could like, you know, shoot the glass or whatever. So like that was a thing to worry about. But this store, my mom was kind of worried though too, because she was like, oh my gosh, did we choose the right store? Because I don't think some of the stores, I found some people on TikTok, and they were saying that they were in some stores where they had to get into the fitting rooms, and I believe that was Forever 21. Oh, Forever 21 was right next to Express, so I don't think that Express and Forever 21 actually had exits. I don't remember. I think they do have stock rooms, because Express seemed like they had a stock room, but I'm not sure if it was an exact exit. Yeah, but the store we went into had an exit. I'll try and look it up on the mall map to see. But though there was the lady that was by the door, the guy that works in the store, he was like, oh, there's a door right there, like we can exit, because somebody asked, like, can we exit, like can we use that door, like does it open, is it locked? And he was saying like, yeah, we can exit through there. And there were actually noises in the hallway, like people were like running and like leaving out of there. But the one lady, I believe she had 2 kids. I really didn't like look at anyone, because I'm trying to like process everything, because I remember when I was like running, I was like texting my grandmother. I was like, Nana, run, shooting. And she was in like the Nike store, and then my uncle used my mom's car to go pick up my cousin that was at the birthday party, and I didn't even know that they actually made it back to the mall, and they were actually getting ready to enter the mall through Macy's, I believe, and they actually did not, they actually ended up turning back around because people were running through there and they were saying there was a shooting. And then so like they went and got back into the car, and they were like, yeah, they basically like left the mall. And so like they were like driving around trying to get to us. My grandmother wasn't like that far from us. And so basically we the lady in the store that we were in, because I was with my two younger sisters in the one that's in middle school and the one that's in high school. The one that's 15 months younger than me, she was at work and she was supposed to actually meet us, but she got off at like around 4 or 5. So like, you know, she came home and she was saying that she was actually about to get into the shower. And yeah, so the lady that was by the door, she was saying like, what if there's someone out there, like what if there's, because you don't, in these situations you don't know if there is someone, you don't know if people are waiting for you in the parking lot, well, not specifically like a specific person, but you don't know what's going on. If someone's waiting in a parking lot, if they're trying to blend in with the crowd and then do something then. But hearing the glass, like the ice sound, I think it was the glass. I'm still like waiting to hear more about like what exactly happened. They did say one person was injured, and I believe that person got shot in the leg. My sister said that it was something over shoes. It actually started in a shoe store, but I'm not really sure what exactly happened. I just know a lot of people ran and there was a shooting for sure. We all just like went into the hallway and took a chance, but everybody was like moving fast, but also kind of like scared of each other, because you don't know who's like, you don't know if like somebody amongst the crowd is like, you know, just waiting to do something. But it did feel like it was really like personal and intentional, but you know, nobody wants to be a bystander or anything like that and harmed or anything, nor see someone else harmed. And yeah, there were a lot of families though in the tunnels and like in the mall in general, so it was like really weird. I didn't really get any like bad vibes from anyone. Everyone seemed really nice. There were like a lot of melanated cultures there. Yeah, the food court was really small at the top, because I remember there was this family, and the grandmother like she sat down at the table because there were like 6 chairs, and I was telling my family like to come over there like before the lady sat down, of course. And she didn't speak any English, and her Spanish was super fast, so I didn't understand what she was saying. But like I don't know, I just assumed like maybe like her legs were tired because she was like older or something, and she was just like waiting for her family to order food. But then her granddaughter came by, and she was like asking if anybody was sitting here, because like there was basically like very little seating left. And I don't know where they ended up like sitting, because my grandmother actually found a different table, and then they just came over to where I was, so I'm not sure about that, but they seemed like they're really nice. Yeah, but there was a lot of families there. And then so in the tunnels it was like really like compact and stuff like that, because everybody was moving fast, but also trying to like stay with like whoever they came with or their families. But then when we got out, people started running to their cars and stuff like that, and some people were just like stuck standing on the sidewalk, similar to what happened at Allen, because they didn't have a ride or they Ubered there. And when situations like this happen, like you're gonna be standing out there, but it's just so bad to be standing in the open, because you just never know, like what if the person is in the car or something like that, what if they escape too, like you don't know what's going on. And then so we ended up so my mom was like freaking out, and she was just like, oh my gosh, She was like, cause like my uncle has her car, so we ended up walking across the parking lot to like the intersection, and my mom was like, I don't think, she was like, this is like, she was kind of uneasy about the situation because we're still in the open. Anybody could be in the car. There's a lot of cars lined up. Everybody was trying to leave. The cops were already there, and more cops were coming, as well as the ambulance. And then my mom, she was like, oh, like, she was like, oh, he's right over there. So like my uncle was at the intersection stop sign, so then we all like, we made sure like the traffic was stopped, and then we like started running across the street. And then like my grandmother, she was like, she went around this car that was at the stop sign. So the stop sign was right here, that was like right in front of us, and then there's like, you know, those intersections, like how you enter the mall. So yeah, so basically yeah, so there was a car right here that was at the stop sign, and then there was this other stop sign right here, and that on the other side of the street is where my uncle was. So we ran across the street, and my grandmother was trying to like stop the traffic. I don't know what she thought she was doing, but you know, people do a lot of things when they're like when they're pumped with adrenaline or in fight or flight. And just flat out fear. A lot of things happen, like people, like my middle school sister, she was getting into the car, and I kind of like gave her a boost and like chucked her in the car, and I was like, get in the car. I was like, we gotta go. And yeah, so then we just like pulled off. Everybody got into the car super fast. Like I always tell my siblings, like at least my younger sister, because sometimes she likes to be on her own time. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you have to pay attention, you need to be aware of your surroundings like at all times. And she's someone that gets like fixated on things, so like once everybody started running, like she almost actually left the family because she runs pretty fast, I guess. She's always saying that like her teachers at school are always saying like, oh my gosh, like you should do track, you should try out for the track team. But I just want to say, listen to your intuition. And everyone was safe so far. There were some people on TikTok that were saying there was this little girl that was missing. She actually got lost from her family, and someone said that they heard that she passed away. I didn't hear anything about that, but you never know, like what, I don't know, like if somebody like heard that. There's a lot of people running and stuff like that too. So and Texas has a lot of people, so like the malls are bigger, the schools are bigger, everything has a larger population. I mean, the parent pickup lines are super insane, like, so I mean, you don't really know whose family, like you're gonna be walking close to people, and it may appear that like, oh my gosh, like this is a big giant family like walking together, and they're just strangers because it's like that many people. So yeah, I just want to say that and like share this story. Just listen to your intuition. Oh, there was another thing too. When you ran out, like when we left the tunnel and we actually like ran out into like this, I don't know if it was like a garage thing, but it's typically like where the trucks will like dock so they can like get the merchandise into the tunnels or whatever. There was this girl, and she was like actually crying on the phone, and she was like, I didn't even want to come here today, I didn't even want to be here today. And so I guess she like also too like had like some type of weird feeling and didn't want to go to the mall as well, and we all ended up at the mall because somebody else wanted to go. And it was just like, wow. And I always talk to the like, sometimes like my family, like they kind of like give me a hard time about certain things, and I'm just like, even if it's like being friends with certain people, and I was like, no, I have to cut that person off for a very good reason, and they might not think it's a good reason, but I'm just like, that's not all the things that happen to people, like people get unalived by their friends, and they get pulled into situations and like tricked by people. I just think it's important to just like be around people that like understand and like take you seriously, because they might think that you're just being dramatic or whatever, but there's nothing funny about what happened yesterday. And even like the situation, like everybody's like smiling and like, oh my gosh. It's like, well, like, you know, like we were like, you know, protected and like we prayed and all this, and I'm just like, yeah, but that's, yeah, it's nice that you prayed and stuff too, like everybody prays, but still at the same time, if you have a feeling not to go somewhere, don't go, because that could have been avoided. Sometimes it's just good not to just like go out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the video. Thanks for watching.